Hello, welcome to Throwback Thursday, July 19th, 2018. Steve Sipress here, and what have we here? We have a painting of our beloved rambunctious Cocker Spaniel Emmanuel, who left this earth 2 years ago today, after about 13 years of bringing nonstop, unbridled joy and unconditional love to our household, for my beautiful wife Michelle and I. So we remember Emmanuel today, as we do every day. And one of my favorite clients, aren't they all, but truly one of my best and favorite clients, Jeff Ducharme, sent us this soon after Emmanuel left us. He had this all put together with photos taken, I assume, off of Facebook over the years of our beloved doggy. Look at that. And I did notice at the end here, there is the last photo. Oh, look at that. Yep, I remember. He signed it. And there is the last photo ever taken of our doggy, Emmanuel, on one of his last walks. He was looking back because he was totally deaf. He was also partially blind and fairly lame, and really we kind of waited too long to say goodbye to him, and probably should have raced ahead of nature, we'll say, and made our own decision. I mean, he was sending us signals at the end. You know, he clearly couldn't be the rambunctious, joyful doggy that he was, and he didn't even really want to eat there at the end, but we would hand feed him, and I believe, looking back, that he ate from our hand, not because he wanted to eat, he was sending us a message, but because he wanted to please us by doing what we were asking him to do. And because that's who he was, and hopefully anybody out there that has a doggy has ever had one, that's why we love them. That's one of the reasons we love them. That's who doggies are. And then my friend Ori painted this photo of Emmanuel from one of painted this portrait, this painting, oil painting of him from one of the photos from Facebook. And Ori is great. He's a great artist, but he also is great at doing that, at capturing emotional moments for people and memorializing them forever. Oh, look at that memory. There he is walking out in like 2 or 3 feet of snow. Back up when we lived up in Chicago area. When we moved down here, he was like, what is going on? Where is all the grass? I want to take a pee in the grass. Another memento my beautiful wife Michelle still saved to this day is his one and only toy that he ever liked his whole life. He picked this out when we first rescued him from the shelter, named after, naturally, the greatest movie of all time, Animal House. When I saw that there was a shelter named Animal House, and it was like a week before my beautiful wife Michelle's birthday, I was like, we've been talking about getting a dog. There's a signal. We got to go get him. And we took him over to the pet store, and he went and chose out the little squeaker toy. And it's the only, he just loved this toy. He was inseparable from it. And no matter what else we gave him, a blue one, a yellow one, a green one, never mattered. Wanted the red one. Chewed this one to death. We played tug of war with it for hours. Threw it all over the place, of course, forever, for 13 years, and it is still around to this day. What the heck? Incredible. What an endorsement for that toy. And then this one, I guess it's the business lesson. A little bit strange, but, you know, we took him to had a few seizures that day, and when we realized he had the second one, I'm like, honey, that's it. You know, he had a seizure, and then he calmed down, and he was walking around, and I'm like, I guess he's okay, but then he had another one. I was like, honey, come on, we got to get in the car. And it was after hours, and we had to drive quite a distance, actually, about 10 miles, to find an emergency vet clinic. We brought him in, and they were like, oh, you know, just because he had a seizure doesn't mean this and that. We have medicine. We're like, look, it's way past time. We just need to say goodbye. And afterwards, they were very smart. They weren't just like, here's the bill. There was the old upsell. Those of you that pay attention to my videos and learn business lessons, the old upsell of, do you want fries with that? You're buying something, you're a customer, let's sell you something else related that you might like. And so there it was. Why don't you get the cremated remains of your doggy memorialized forever. And of course I was like, really now? But my beautiful wife Michelle would hear none of that. And she was like, well, of course we have to have that. In which case, guess who wins out in that case? So yes, we wanted fries with that. And for a couple of $100 extra or whatever it was, who knows, who cares? Again, dog lovers, dog owners, pretty much the whole time they have them, price is not an issue, but certainly not in that emotional state. Anyone that's in that emotional state, it doesn't matter what an oil painting like this would cost, doesn't matter what a book like this would cost, doesn't matter what the remains, and do we know that his remains are in here? Second of all, what is up with this? It says date of cremation, July 21st, 2016. Obviously, I'm showing my ignorance of the industry. I don't know anything about veterinary, but why? Oh, I think I know why. I was going to ask, why do they wait 2 days? But I think I remember them telling us that they do cremations once a week or twice a week or whatever it was. So the next one was going to be on that date. That's why, right? It's not like they do a cremation every 2 seconds. So there you go. But still, why would they put date of cremation? Why wouldn't they put date of birth, date of death, whatever? Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, there it is. And so we remember our beloved doggy Emmanuel. Now, Emmanuel in Hebrew, those of you that know Hebrew know that that means God with us. And if you spell one of those words backwards, he was our dog with us and still is. And that's why we named him Emmanuel. He's our dog with us. So even though he's gone from the earth, he's still with us always. And we remember him especially today, 2-year anniversary, which means still very recent. And haven't really gotten over it. And we really love our dog and we miss him. And so we'll squeak the old squeaker toy for him. Oh, let's see who's here. Kevin is here. Oh, my beautiful wife Michelle is here. And Phil is here, says, man, he was a cutie. He was crazy, rambunctious crazy. I said, you know, we'll get a doggy. But I insist that I want to play with him. So he's got to be one of these doggies where you throw the ball, he fetches, he brings it back. So we go to the Animal House shelter, and we were like, we want a playful doggy with tons of energy. And people told us, and I know, when I know people that have had him, the Jack Russell Terrier, I'm like, that's the dog that to me has the most nonstop energy of any dog of all time. They're like, we don't have any of those. But here's this one. They bring in a doggy. And I'm like, fine. I throw the ball. He kind of looks at it, looks back at me, and I'm like, next. Okay, so they bring in the second doggy. He comes in. I throw the ball. Doggy runs right after it and grabs it. He then proceeds to sit there and kind of chew on it or play with it. I'm like, close, but no cigar. Next. Took him like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to come back. They must be like, this guy is serious. When he says he wants a doggy that'll get the ball, bring it back, he's serious, and they must not know. As I think about it, like, it's not like they tested out every doggy throwing balls and seeing if they bring them back. So I guess they were like, let's take a shot with this one. In comes Emmanuel. Had a different name back then. How ridiculous. And man, first of all, he immediately chose us. He comes in the room, and there's like 3 or 4 other couples or families or people sitting around on couches around the room, and they're all like petting doggies, and they're checking them out and whatever. Our doggy comes in. He does like 2 or 3 lappers around the room 100 miles an hour, runs over to us, out of all the people, runs over to us. Maybe it's because I had a ball in my hand. So I throw the ball across the room, runs to it, grabs it, immediately runs back and brings it to me. And of course, I looked at my beautiful wife, Michelle, and I said, there's our doggy. So later, I remember that was a Sunday. Now that I think of it, was a Sunday, and they were like, hey, $300 donation to the shelter here for the doggy. And I'm like, do I look like I have that amount of cash on me? They're like, oh, we don't take credit cards. Like, checks, what, I don't remember what. They don't take anything but cash. I'm like, does it look like I walk around with $300 cash on me in the year 2003? I mean, it wasn't totally modern day as it is today, but I'm like, come on now. So we went to we had to go to like 2 or 3 or 4 ATMs we had like a, they allow you to only take like 100, 200, 150. on a Sunday. We're driving around, and back then there's no smartphones to go like, where's the ATM? We're just driving around asking people, looking for ATMs, and we get the $300 cash, and we get back to the place, and they were closed, but they stayed open and waited for us, and we came in, and, my beautiful wife Michelle is like, well, shouldn't we think about it? Opposites attract. I'm like, opportunity, let's go. My beautiful wife Michelle likes to put the brakes on and go, let's think about it. Let's talk about it. I'm like, and I remember something like I looked at it and said, honey, if we decide, so let's if we do go home and think about it, sleep on it and whatever, and we decide tomorrow that, yeah, we want that doggy, that's our boy, we're going to go back and get him, do you want to look back and always say that, and we left him in a cage one more night all alone? Like, no, of course not. We need to go get him. So we went back, we got him, and it was the next day we went to the pet store and got the squeaker toy and the doggy bed and the bowl and the whatever and all that kind of stuff. But that's our beloved rambunctious Cocker Spaniel, Emmanuel. He picked us out. He was exactly who we're looking for. My beautiful wife Michelle would complain when he was young, like he doesn't want to cuddle. Doesn't like when I pick him up. He doesn't like sitting on my lap. I'm like, because he's crazy rambunctious, that's what I wanted. But as the years went by, look what happened. He transitioned to no longer jumping up and running around like crazy. He's getting to be old man doggy. And now he was Mr. Hey, I just want to sit around and be petted and cuddled. So interesting how that works, huh? He went from being the exact ideal doggy I wanted to be the exact ideal doggy my beautiful wife Michelle wanted, which meant he was, of course, the exact ideal doggy that we both wanted. And isn't that fantastic? Okay, I'm breaking up here, and I'm tearing up, and I got to be a man. Be a man! Who saw The Godfather? Be a man! And so that'll do it for Throwback Thursday. Jim is here. Kevin, good seeing you. And Phil says, love that you guys rescued him. That's the best thing ever. Yes, it is. Speaking of which, might have seen my Facebook Live video or a post I put on Facebook, I think it was yesterday. My good friend Mike Capuzzi's daughter, Caroline, is publishing her very first book called Dog Joy. And it's got 20 stories about rescue doggies. And so we're one of them, and I think there might be a few spots left. So if you are out there and you're watching this and you have rescued and or adopted a doggy at any point, you might want to tell that story, not to mention that all proceeds from the book are going to support one or more doggy animal shelters. So, like, what a win-win. We're going to immortalize the doggy. It's a labor of love writing it. I noticed that the limit is 750 words. I'm like, if I just got this transcribed, I think I just spoke 5,000 words, like 750. I'm going to have to like edit like a maniac to get this down to 750 because, of course, I could talk, write, and video about our beloved doggy forever. And yet I got to let all you guys go and get back to my day while I can still see straight and while I can get something done today. So, but if I don't, it's okay if I don't get anything done today. But remember our beloved doggy. He certainly brought us 13 years of love and joy. Can certainly give a few minutes in a day to thinking about him and all the love he brought us. And I wish the same on all of you out there, that you have members of your family that are non-human, because as humans, we don't have that unconditional love, and we have a memory and all kinds of, we think about the future and the past and all kinds of silly things. Our doggy was like, what? The past? As in like 30 seconds ago? I already don't remember that. And tomorrow, I don't remember, I don't care, and I don't think about either. Right now, I love you. Right now, I want to play. Right now, I want to do what I want to do. And like, we were like, no matter how the day went, I mean, to all you dog owners out there, you all have the same experience, I'm sure. So I'm not saying anything everyone doesn't know, but no matter how the day went, no matter what happened, no matter what's going on in our world and the world and anything, there was our beloved doggy just looking at us going, I ain't watching the news. I don't give a crap who's the president. I don't give a crap who lost the election and can't get over it. I don't give a crap about nothing. I'm happy to see you. Every time we came home, it didn't matter if I took out the garbage and went 20 feet away around the corner. When I came home, it was as if I'd be gone for a month. Every single time we walked in the door, he did spin-arounders, jumping up and down, jumping for joy. I mean, who doesn't want that in your life? So, folks, if you don't have that in your life, go to your nearest shelter and rescue a doggy. They're looking to give their love to somebody. Like, it's a win-win for everybody. And again, if you have done that in the past or even doing it right now, like, please scroll down on my Facebook page and check out the book Dog Love, and hopefully there's a spot open for you, and take less than an hour and write out 500, 700 words about your experience with your doggy and immortalize them forever, and also maybe encourage others to do the same and rescue doggies. And also the proceeds, actual money, will also go to these shelters, because we donated that $300 to that shelter, and who knows, I mean, actually our doggy was there for a while, because they said that he had been found, rescued, whatever, brought to the shelter, and then he went to a family, but then they brought him back after a week or two because he didn't get along with the kids or something or whatever, and I have a feeling he was a little too rambunctious if they had young kids, and he had been there for a while, and they were like, oh, we're so thankful you're taking him. And then he had a lot of physical problems, and within a year of us having him, he needed a back surgery. $4,000 back surgery, and that's where I learned a lesson of something you should never say to your beautiful wife Michelle or my beautiful wife Michelle was, honey, $4,000 for the back surgery. Seriously? We could get like 10 more doggies for that. Oh, never say that. You cannot say that. You probably can't even think that. Clearly, it was $4,000 for the back surgery, and that, of course, and there's everything else. And it reminds me, I remember when we were getting the doggy, they're having us filling out paperwork to, I guess, see how fit we are as future parents of this doggy. And they're like, blah, 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 this and that. What do you do? Oh, this, that. And it was like I remember one part of it was like, how much do you think you will spend on taking care of the doggy every year? And I was like, oh, good question, honey. Because first of all, I don't care, whatever it is, obviously, it's $4,000 for a back surgery we're doing it. So, whatever it is, but I'm like, yeah, what do you think? And I think we were so naive. I mean, what did I put on there? I probably put like, well, I don't know, doggy food is what, $20 a week? So it's, $1,000 for the year. Let's put $1,000. Like, $1,000 with our doggy? I mean, he needed all kinds of care. It wasn't just, it was his ears, it was his tail, it was his back, it was this, that, whatever. He's our doggy boy. He got anything he wanted. He also got the finest dog food. People munch on potato chips and whatever. Our doggy got the finest mail order dog food. And then later on, when he stopped eating that because it was dry dog food, my beautiful wife Michelle came home with the fresh dog food from Whole Foods store. Whole Foods is expensive enough for human food. It's a Whole Foods doggy food in the refrigerated section. Like, could you be more extravagantly expensive? And again, like, it's no question. Like, that's what he gets. And being a Cocker Spaniel, it's not one of these doggies that sheds. He needs a haircut like every 6 weeks or something, and that's X amount. And we took him to obedience school, which didn't work because the school was really more for us than for him. And I will say that one of us was especially not in the mood to teach our doggy to be obedient, so that whatever doggy our doggy wanted, he got from one of us who was extremely lenient toward the doggy and could not be authoritarian at all for him. And so therefore he knew where to go. If ever I told him no, he knew right where to go to get the yes, and to get all kinds of treats and all kinds of things he wasn't supposed to be eating, places he wasn't supposed to go, and things he wasn't supposed to do, and all that kind of stuff. And who cares? It was all fun. It was great, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. That's it for Throwback Thursday. And Steve is here. Great seeing you and everybody else here live on the replay. Again, I wish that love on everybody. Remember our beloved doggy Emmanuel today. His beloved squeaker toy, remember him today and every day. And so cherish every second, every moment you have with your doggy as well. I wish that on everybody. That'll do it for Throwback Thursday, folks. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for indulging me in my emotional trauma I think I'm creating here for myself, but that's the way it is. And I'll be back tomorrow on Foundation Friday with part 6 in my 7-part series, The Critical Transformations Every Business Owner Must Make. I hope you'll be back with me then tomorrow. Thanks for being here today. Over and out. Bye-bye.